The Chetco effect often brings very hot temperatures to the Brookings area, and we mention it a lot, but what is it? And that brings us to our Ask the Meteorologist today, and Eric Knox wants to know, well, what is the Chetco effect? So when we see the Chetco effect, it's often due to a high pressure offshore and what we call a thermal trough over California. And actually that thermal trough was right over the coast and the Medford area today, and that actually creates a gradient which creates wind. So that's why it was so breezy this afternoon for areas of the Rogue Valley, was due to that pressure gradient. So that high pressure offshore and that low pressure, the circulation around both is basically provides this offshore flow, this easterly flow. And when you get downsloping from the coast range, you get what's called the dry adiabatic lapse rate to occur. And what that is it decreases or warms the temperature, excuse me, as the air goes down the hills into the coast, and it gets funneled into the Chetco River, and we see temperatures warm up very much. So the dry adiabatic lapse rate is about 10 degrees Celsius per kilometer, or 5.5 degrees Fahrenheit per 1,000 feet. And what happens at the Chetco River, and to a lesser extent at Gold Beach due to the Rogue River, is very warm temperatures. In fact, we've hit 108 degrees. That's the warmest temperature ever reported at the Brookings Airport, and that was thanks to the Chetco effect. This is the same thing that happens in Southern California. It's the Santa Ana winds, and oftentimes when they see the Santa Ana winds, not only do we see temperatures get very warm due to these downsloping winds, but they also get very dry. It was very dry out there today. We had very low humidities, and that creates fire danger. The more funneled it gets, the higher the fire threat, and the reason being is that air, as it descends the mountains, it dries out and it warms, and that's why we see the Chetco effect at the coast and impacting Brookings, and to a lesser extent, as I mentioned, Gold Beach. Great question. Chetco effect ends tomorrow, but if you have other questions, still waiting on a hurricane question, you can head to our website, kdrv.com, and click on the Stormwatch 12 Weather in Classroom banner.